Not the same as duty. But speaking of things that I dislike or that maybe not a good value, we have, wrong one. Palmetto State Armory is coming out with the Palmetto State Armory M14, the return of the legend. You've been wishing for it, citation needed. Asking for it, please add citation here. And we're proud to announce that it's happening. These will be a limited run and a limited edition. More info coming soon. Guys, have you ever, in your deepest, darkest dreams, asked yourself, you know what I need? I need a PSA manufactured M14, right? You're a real M14 Vietnam era fanboy. You love it. You want to build out your hype retro rifle because it's cool and you saw it in that one movie that one time. And you're like, you know who can put this together the best for me personally? Palmetto State Armory. That's right. Can PSA actually make the M14 worse? Yeah, you know, I think so. I think so. Of course, there he is. Kyle says, I want one. Hook says, who asked for that? Kyle asked for it. Dude, Kyle is perfect rage bait. I love Kyle. I hope he stays forever. Now for $100,000 on Gunbroker. Yeah, that's the thing. It ain't gonna be cheap. It ain't gonna be cheap. For 800, yeah, it's not gonna be $800, bro. It's gonna be 1,500 to 2K, no doubt. Patently Shed Armory, true. Yeah, probably. Well, listen, bro. I love how they're announcing these things, right? Even though they announced all the things at SHOT Show that have yet to come out that they promised would be coming out. So they're like, how about an M14? You guys want that? You guys like that? Well, Vintage Warfare might want one for like educational purposes, like how bad can this be? Like, or is it like okay, actually, right? So they might want one from like a more academic standpoint. I don't think they're like, oh, this is the one to buy. All right, let's see here. Can I play this without getting demonetized on YouTube? Ooh, ouch, ear rape. Thank you. Dude, we actually do need to do that. That's a good idea. Make Kyle's PFP a sticker in chat. That would be very good. Okay, well, I can't play this in chat. There's Cameron with his M14. I'm not into M14s, guys. I mean, listen, I think the AK is an antiquated relic, okay? And I am embarrassed to have one sitting behind me. An M14, the shortest weapon in military service of all time until it gets replaced by the M7, couldn't be me. My dad loves his M14, though. He was a Marine during from what 1968, so he got issued an M14. Absolutely loves that. But that is rose tinted glasses for sure. Right now, another bit of Palmetto State Armory FUD lore is this is an interesting report that is forward dated October 12th of 2025. So this might be a very funny piece of rage bait because, you know, October 12th, 2025 hasn't quite happened yet, but there's this document that was floating around, which I find quite funny. Palmetto State Armory edges out LMT in surprising match performance. By Carson Hale, Tactical Precision Journal. Fort Benning, Georgia, in a head-to-head rifle evaluation that raised more than a few eyebrows in the precision shooting community. A production line Palmetto State Armory Sabre Series rifle narrowly outperformed a LMT Mars H during a 2-day endurance and accuracy trial conducted at the Southeastern Defense Marksmanship Invitational last weekend, which is, of course, October 12th. Hasn't quite happened yet. The Invitational, hosted by the Fort Benning Marksmanship Unit, brought together civilian competitors, industry representatives, and military shooting teams for a battery of live-fire performance tests. This year's Industry Challenge segment paired comparable rifles from different manufacturers and scored them across 4 categories. Mechanical accuracy, recoil management, sustained fire, reliability, and transition speed. How do you quantify those? No idea. Testing format. The rifles were tested using identical 175 grain federal gold medal match ammunition, optics zeroed by an independent armor, and were rotated between shooters to eliminate bias. A panel of 3 AMU instructors scored the event, including Master Sergeant Peter Coltrane, who stressed the focus of repeatable results rather than one-off fluke groups. We weren't here to crown the most expensive rifle, Coltrane told TPG. We wanted to see that what each platform could do in controlled conditions side by side without brand bias. Numbers don't care about price tags. Results. In the 10-round accuracy test, the PSA Sabre series posted a .86 MOA average, edging the LMT's .93 MOA. In the 500-yard rapid engagement drill, both rifles scored identical times, but the PSA maintained a tighter vertical spread under sustained strings. Reliability testing, which involved 600 rounds over the 2 days without cleaning. Now, this is a thing where it's like 600 rounds doesn't mean anything. 600 rounds is certainly not an endurance test or a reliability test. Over 2 days without cleaning, so it's not even necessarily even a high fire rate. Ended with the PSA experiencing 0 malfunctions, and the LMT logged 1 failure to feed late in day 2. Now, here's the thing with AR-10s. AR-10s are just by their nature finicky, right? And it has to do with suppressors and tuning. Is this set up for this ammo or not? Is whatever can be adjusted needs to be adjusted. And this test means absolutely like nothing, even if this is real, right? Which it may not even be real in the first place. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, it is real. If I take a Glock and I take one 600 round window where it has a malfunction, and I compare it to a 600 round window of my Canic that has 0 malfunctions, I couldn't then go and say, well, look, over this 600 round string, the Glock had a malfunction and the Canic didn't. So obviously the Canic is just so much better. It's like, no, that's worthless. Absolutely worthless data. It's not enough ammo, not enough sample sizes. And of course, you can find a string of fire in which any gun has a malfunction, and you can pick a string of fire in which another gun doesn't have a malfunction. It doesn't mean that they're actually more reliable. Industry reaction. While the difference in performance was marginal, it was enough to ignite discussion among shooters and industry observers. LMT makes excellent rifles, no question, said Darren McCall, lead armor for the event. But what PSA has done in the last few years, especially with their Sabre series, shows they're not playing in just the entry-level sandbox anymore. Palmetto State Armory representatives were quick to note that the Sabre series used in the match was a stock production model retailing for under $1,500. LMT's Mars 8 configuration was tested, carries an MSRP of $3,200. Looking ahead, both companies are slated to return for the 2026 Invitational, where rumors suggest the industry challenge will include suppressed SBR platforms and night shoot evaluations. Until then, this year's results will likely fuel debates at ranges and gun counters nationwide. I think, personally, I think that is pure rage bait. Fantastic rage bait. I think somebody just wanted to float this around there. Probably not even real. If you look up these people, are they real humans? Do they actually exist? Was this a real event dated October 12th, 2025, which hasn't happened yet? 2 months in the future? Probably not. But it's funny.